What's up, everyone? It's Phil and Gil in the morning here today, coming live from Greendale High School at this playoff game with Cudahy. It'll be an exciting match.
Yup.
Let's talk about it.
And I'm Gil, also known as Peter Geitman. Greendale is currently warming up. What do we think the score? What's your score prediction, Phil?
This is Phil, also known as Phil. I think that Greendale will come out of this 70 points, and Cudahy will get out 58.
58? Really?
Yes.
I think I'm going to go Greendale 90, Cudahy 36. I was looking at comparative matchups.
Okay.
Pius won by 40 against Cudahy, and then
Right.
we beat Pius by 20. So I think it's going to be a lot more than a 12-point game.
That's reasonable.
Yeah. All right. Who do you got for score?
I'm gonna say Xavier Castillo.
Okay.
He's a bit of a bucket, and I respect his hustle.
I like that pick. I'm going to go with Devin Isaj. I know it's the boring pick, but I think, especially with Cudahy being more a guard-centered team, I think Devin Isaj is going to be a big. He's just going to get in there for a layup.
That's great.
I do like the Xavier pick, though, because against Greenfield, I picked Xavier, and he cashed. So it's not a horrible pick. All right. Since we both think they're going to kill them, let's talk about the Martin Luther game.
That one's a little more tough, as Martin Luther is a little better at sports than our current opponent.
Yeah, I think Martin Luther's favored.
You think so?
They are. Yeah, Martin Luther's favored. They got to buy this first round.
Right.
So
I got Greendale maybe winning by 2 or 4 points.
2 or 4 points.
Yeah.
And are you thinking
It'll be
like
a tough match.
60s, 40s? What do you think they're going?
Probably 60s.
So like 60 to 58.
Yeah. something
Yeah.
along those lines.
I think I'm gonna go Martin Luther 57, Greendale 54. I think Coach Wollersheim is gonna outcoach RJ in this game, and it's not an RJ problem. It's just Wollersheim is an amazing coach. My dad used to work with him, and the guy's already won a state title. So I think with how it's gonna be a close game, I think it's gonna come down to coaching in the end of the game.
That's fair.
Who do you got for first scorer for that game?
I'm gonna pick Devin Isai for that one just because it's tough for competition. I don't know.
Alright.
I don't know. If you'll get anyone else.
That's fair.
For a shout out.
I think with this game, Greendale's gonna have to be locked in, but I think there's gonna do some scouting and realize Devin's gonna be our best player by far.
Right.
So I think they're gonna double Devin or like a zone on Devin to where he can't score. So I'm gonna go Luke Mattis against Martin Luther.
Okay. That's fair. Yeah, that's not a bad take.
All right. Regarding the NBA, who do you got as your title winner right now?
I'm gonna have to go with the Cavaliers with
Okay.
their just this change in coaching somehow completely transformed the team. They have the best record in the NBA currently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And even though they don't really have an MVP candidate, their team is deep enough where you could probably throw any one of them on the court in a whole game.
That's fair. I'm going to go the OKC Thunder. I think if you look at it in their games, when Shea goes off, they win big. And then when Jalen Williams goes off, they still win close, even if Shea's having a rough night. I think you having those two prolific scorers and Lou Dort and Caruso for defense, I think that's a success. I think they'll probably end up facing the Cavs, but I think if you look at their two matchups, they lost a close one in their one loss, and then they blew them out bad.
Well, the thing about that is the blowout was without Donovan Mitchell, who's the leader of the offense.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. I think if I were to predict it, I think they'd win by like an average margin of 5 in the finals.
I can see that.
How many games would you think this hypothetical series would go to?
Definitely 7.
Definitely
They're
7?
They're both really historic teams, actually.
Right. How do they determine who gets home court? Is it just better record
Yeah.
for finals?
Who has the better record.
Okay. Yeah. Honestly, about that, they should do what the MLB did and just do like East-West All-Star game again, and then winning side gets home court for the finals. That's what the MLB did. I think that'd make it more interesting.
Maybe, but I also feel it's more rewarding if you had the better regular season, you get the better advantage.
That's
in the
fair.
offseason.
I think it's just like it'd make the All-Star game competitive instead of this lollygagging, chucking up threes.
That's fair. The All-Star game hasn't been very competitive.
I do like the new tournament format, but I feel like 500K is nothing to Giannis. That's like finding a 20 in your couch.
Yeah.
It's cool, but that doesn't do anything for Giannis.
Right.
And so I'd like to see something else, or maybe an advantage given to the younger rookies, because that money's gonna be more important to them.
That's fair. I agree with you.
All right. Give me your top 5 point guards.
Top 5 point guards of all time?
Yeah.
I'm going to go Magic, Curry, Chris Paul.
Okay.
I'm not the most well-versed in point guards, so I'm going to say Jerry West.
Okay.
And then Harden.
That's fair. I don't really think Harden's a point guard. I think he's more of a shooting guard. If I had to rank them, I'd go Magic Johnson, Steph, John Stockton, Chris Paul, and then I'm going to go with probably Jerry West. I feel like as a point guard, assists are a very important factor. I also don't think Harden passes enough. In his early career, he didn't pass enough to be considered a point guard. And so I feel like that's his better part of his legacy. You got to take that away.
I don't know if I would agree with that. A lot of his early career was based in as a sixth man in OKC, but also, during his time with the Rockets, he was averaging 8 to 9 assists per season, which I think is more than enough to call yourself a point guard, even if you're scoring more. It's just the fact that he was the best scorer on the team and he was the best passer.
Okay, I get that, but when you have Russell Westbrook and Chris Paul on your team, you've got to be the shooting guard. Because those two are main.
Right down.
I mean, that's fair. I just feel like if you look at Harden as a point guard, you have to cut it off you'd have to cut off the time before he got to the Nets. Because he didn't really pass until then.
He definitely did pass.
Okay, well, he didn't pass as much.
You're saying, you said that he can't consider him the point guard with Chris Paul and Westbrook on the team, but he averaged more assists than all of them.
Did he actually?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would say he was definitely the point guard of that team.
So that would make Russ the shooting guard, though. Russ isn't a shooting guard.
Well, you can also have a 2-guard lineup.
Okay. Yeah.
So.
You didn't have Stockton in your top 5, though?
No, I didn't.
All-time assist leader? All-time steals leader?
I feel like if you place him in the same situation like a Harden or one of those people who absolutely carried their teams, he's not going to do that job for you.
You calling him a plumber?
Yes, precisely.
All right, sorry about that. We had to stand for the national anthem. As we're getting close to game time, you got any more takes for me, Phil?
I'm going to say that even though it is a very, very close race, I would say Jokic is the MVP over Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, really for the fact that without him, the Nuggets play like a kindergarten team, and with him, they're one of the better teams in the league.
Okay, I'll buy that take. I feel like if we're going based off the most valuable player, that makes sense. But I feel like the word's almost shifted into a best player more recently. And so, I feel like if they're going to continue with how they've treated the award, then it has to go to Shai. If you're going to, because they treated it like a best player the last 2 years.
Sure.
And Embiid would have won it last year, but he got hurt. And so I think if you're gonna keep treating it like a best player award, you got to give it to Shai. All right, sorry about the gap. We had to go serve customers. It's near the end of the game now, and Greendale is absolutely destroying Cudahy. As of right now, it's about 100 to 40.
That's right.
Lucas
The game prediction wasn't too accurate, but I can't say I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
Mm.
I was relatively close in the margin, but I didn't think we were going to put up 100.
Yeah, has that ever happened? There's got to be a bit since that's
It's
happened.
got to have happened, but it's unlikely, especially in the playoffs.
In the playoffs,
Probably
yeah.
the first time. How does this change your view on how you think we're going to play against Martin Luther?
I think we're gonna do pretty good if we're winning by almost 60. I mean, it's pretty tough.
It's fair. I like that we pulled the starters early.
Mm-hmm.
I think that gave us some rest. The only thing I'm concerned about is we didn't really go hard in practice this week because we're playing Cudahy.
Fair.
And so I wonder how that's going to affect us.
I feel like we know how tough of a competition Martin Luther is. So I think we'll be well prepared enough. It'll be a tough game, but I think we'll come out with the dub.
Mm-hmm. All right, back to that NBA topic.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about MVP and finals predictions. Now that we have more time, do you want to explain your rationale more behind Jokic?
I think overall, if I wanted someone on my team, I would pick Jokic over someone like Shea. Surely, furthermore, that he can elevate his players or his teammates like no one else can. And I don't think we've seen anyone like Jokic ever in the league, history.
So do you mean Jokic right now for 1 year, or you're going to build your team for the next 5 to 10 years, you're still taking Jokic?
I'm still taking Jokic, yes.
I feel like if it's the next 5 to 10 years, I'm taking Shea just because of the age.
Fair. I was thinking more 5 years. If it's 10 years, I would take Shea.
Yeah, okay. I think, honestly, if it's 5 to 10 years, I'm not taking Shea. I'm going to take probably Paolo Banchero. I think he's already really good if he's got more time to develop.
Well, besides Wemby, I would agree with that. Because, Wemby's Wemby. But Paolo Banchero, before he got injured, dropped 50. Mm-hmm. He's got a lot of potential. He just needs to learn.
Yeah. All right, that's going to be the end of this episode this week. Next week, we're going to be talking about spring training and the upcoming baseball season. Mm-hmm. This was the Phil and Gil Show, signing off.
See you guys next week.
All right, sorry.